Waited like I got my mail late last night. Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome back to the 4-String Strummer, the channel. It's all about ukuleles. Today, we're going to be taking a good close look at some strumming techniques. I got a new way to show you this. I got the big Duke banjo ukulele out today, but of course, as always, you can play this and learn this on whatever style of ukulele you've got. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so this week we're going to work on a new logical way to strum. All right, so I've been talking about this plaidman style here for a while, and as most of you know that have been on the channel before, there's about 5 or 6 different strums that I do. Sometimes we stick them together, sometimes we keep them separate to get ourselves a different sound. So what we're going to do today is I want to focus particularly on the finger drag, okay, as the strum of the week kind of a thing. And I want you guys to get your ukes, put them on your lap, and follow along with me to get the most out of this lesson. I'm going to show you sort of a new way that I've come up with to explain this. So again, the basic strum that we're going to start off with here is our paintbrush. Now again, I know a lot of you guys have seen this, but we're just going to really quickly review it. So paintbrush is a 2-part strum. Okay, so it's paint and it's brush. So we're hitting it with our thumb and we're brushing it with our fingers. And the way I want you guys to think about strumming is in terms of basically the timing of the strumming. So for this strum, we've got paint and we've got brush, 2 equal parts. Okay, so one is going to be the thumb and one is going to be the finger flick, the actual strum, the brush part. Okay, so we've got paint, brush. Now this week what I want to do is expand on that, and I want to work what's called the finger drag strum. So finger drag basically is going to take that first part, and this is where the logical Spock part comes in, and we're going to split it in half. Okay, so we're going to live long and prosper with this strum. So instead of it being paint and brush, we're going to have finger and drag. Okay, finger, drag. So I want you to think in terms of syllables of the names of the strum. Okay, so again, paint, brush, you got 2 syllables. Finger, drag is going to be the way we're going to do it today. So by splitting this first part, each of those, the fing and the gur, are going to have an equal amount of time. So here's what it sounds like. And just do this with me. So all it is just the top string and the bottom string. I just want to work finger right now. So we got finger, finger. Do this with me like 10 times, okay? Just to get the feel for it. 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 2. Okay, I think that was 10, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, now, so we've got the finger part. Now, we're going to work the drag. Finger, drag. So the drag part is just like this. So all you're going to do, it's just like when you do the paintbrush, you're just going to brush down like that, okay? So, the way to think about this is finger, drag. Finger, drag. So, finger, drag. So the drag basically has the same amount of time and emphasis as finger. Okay, so finger, drag. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you want to think about like 1, 2, 3, that's fine. If you want to think about it as 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and however you want to do it, whatever works in your brain, that's fine. Finger, drag. And if you notice here, what happens when I do the finger, my finger is up now, right? You can see that right up there. So it's in position. And then you just flick. It's already there. You flick. Okay, finger, drag. All right, so let's try this through. We'll do like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of these finger drag strums, nice and slowly. Do it with me, all right? Here we go. Finger, drag, finger, drag, finger, drag, finger, drag. Okay. So here's what we're shooting for at the end of all this. We're going to come up with a strum that's going to sound like this. Okay, it makes a real nice strum for country, folk, bluegrass, all kinds of different stuff. Okay, so all I'm doing here to get that sound is I'm putting those two strums together. So we've got paintbrush, and then we do finger drag. Okay, so do it with me. Try your paintbrush, paintbrush. Now, finger drag. Again, paintbrush, finger drag. Paintbrush, finger drag. Paintbrush, finger drag. Just like that. All right? Practice that a few times through, just at your own pace. Paintbrush, finger drag. Okay? And then what we'll do is we'll do it a little bit more quickly, but don't get too carried away on speed right out of the gate. All right? And then we're going to get into a song, and we'll use it for the song as well. All right? So take some time now, come back, and then we'll get into the song. All right? Here we go. Okay, so the song this week is going to be an old Gordon Lightfoot tune. It's called Steel Rail Blues, and we'll use that one. And so let me just go through the song. You might not be familiar with it. It's kind of a nice, sort of an old, sort of a country folky kind of a thing. And let me just give you the gist of the song. Here's how it goes. Well, I got my mail late last night, letter from a girl who found the time to write to a lonesome boy somewheres in the night. She sent me a railroad ticket to take me to her loving arms, and the big steel rail gonna carry me home to the one I love. All right, so let me show you how the chords go. So it starts off with a C. Well, I got my mail late last night, a letter from a girl who found the time to F. Right to a lonesome boy somewheres in the night. Back to C. She F. Sent me a railroad ticket to take me to her loving C. Arms in the big steel A minor. Rail's gonna carry me G7 to the one I see love. Okay, that's how all the verses go. And then there's sort of a little chorusy kind of a bridge thing that goes, ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so it goes like this. It goes to F, C, F, 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 C. Go up to A minor, G, F, G7, back to C. Okay, so it's... All right. Now, let me show you a couple of little extra embellishments. We're not going to go too crazy on embellishments this week, because what I want you guys to do is really focus intently on this strum. Because once you get the strum down, man, you are going to be off to the races. All right, let me show you a couple little embellishments that you can do. Nothing too wild. Here we go. All right, so embellishments, we'll talk about that, adding a little finger here and there, some hammer-ons, and also another strum that you can start to put in. So we talked again, paintbrush, finger drag, okay, and then you put them together, you got paintbrush, finger drag, paintbrush, finger drag, all right? And that gives you this nice little sort of a country kind of a strum. Now the other thing that you could do is you can split this one also, double Spock strum. Okay, so this one is basically double strumming is the way that you can think about it, okay? Double strum and, however you want to do it. Okay, so double strum and all it is down, up, okay? So listen, I'll show you. So if you think, we had the finger drag, right? So all we're doing is extending the finger drag strum now. So finger drag and. So it's just double strum. All we're doing is we're just adding, for the double strumming, We're just adding a thumb coming back up onto the finger drag. Okay, so you can see how this system, it just kind of builds on itself. And all we're doing is just taking the same things and splitting them up differently, right? It's however you want to do it. Some of you guys have been around for a while, you've seen me do sledgehammer. Well, sledgehammer is just finger drag backwards, okay? Okay, that's all it is. So what we're doing here for this double strumming is we're going down, up, down, just like we do for finger drag. And then we come back up with our thumb. Okay, so if we wanted to, it adds just a little bit of extra kind of spice and sort of speed to the sound. Let me just show you how this would maybe fit in. Well, I got my mail late last night, made it from a girl who found the time to write to a lonesome boy somewhere in the night. So you can hear when I did that. Lonesome boy somewhere in the night. Then I go back to my regular finger drag style. So it's just paintbrush finger drag. And then we add the extra thumb coming in. See how it works? All right, so again, you've just taken paintbrush, finger drag, double strumming. All right, and you just start to mix these things up, and it gives you so much possibility to change the sound of the tune. Okay, and that's the cool thing with this style is if you get lost, the other great thing is that you can always just revert back to the next easiest strum, if you want to put it that way. So if you were doing double strum and all of a sudden, holy smokes, I got lost, you can just go back to your finger drag style. If you get lost on finger drag style, you can just go back to paintbrush. You play the whole song like that. Well, I got my mail late last night, a letter from a girl who found the time to write. See how I can build it? Night. She sent me a railroad ticket to take me to a loving house on the big steel rail to carry me home to the one I love. So I can use any one of those wherever I want. Today, let's really focus on getting that finger drag down though, okay? Because that's sort of that next step up from our paintbrush drum. All right, other embellishments that you can do here. When you're doing this, you might have seen that every once in a while when I'm playing my F, I drop my third finger down here at the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and it just gives a little bit of an extra. Okay, so you can throw that extra little hammer on in. The other thing that you can do is you can sort of, again, talking about kind of hammer-ons, delay when you drop your fingers. Okay, so when you'll see when we do that ooh part, you see how I pluck it and then I drop it. It gives it that twanginess when you do that, right? Like I always say, embrace the twang. Ooh, ooh. Now when you do the ooh, and you do those quicker chord changes, okay. It's the same thing. So you can see, again, I'm kind of doing little hammer-ons there, and I'm just using paintbrush for this part. Okay? All right, now you've also got a little bit of a choice here. So if you find that those changes, those kind of quick changes are a little bit tough for you because you're still working on your chord changing speed, no problem. Ooh, this part's not too bad, just C, F. Now when you do the A minor, you can go A minor, then you can go G7 if you want, rather than G, okay? And I'll show you why, because when you go to A minor to G, all you're doing here, changing from F to G7, it's just basically a pivot. So your first finger stays stuck, kind of. It's sort of like your hinge point, your pivot point. So you go F, and your first finger on the F just stays in place, and you just rotate on that first finger. And if you look, I've got the F and the G7 position almost all the time if you look at my fingers. Okay, they're not down all the way, so when I play F, I just take that third finger up a little bit. When I spin it, all I'm doing is I'm dropping that third finger back to F, G7. Okay, so we can go like this. So you can see it's just a pivot, right? If you like to do it with the G7, you can do the G7 there as well. It just makes it a little easier. Now, other thing that you can do is if you don't want to do a full paintbrush strum, you can just do a single strum. Okay, and that, nothing wrong with doing that, whether it's to make it a little bit easier or just to give it a little bit different sound as well. All right, let's have a little listen. I got an announcement for you, so let's have a look at that before we get into the tune. Here we go. All right, folks, so make sure that you stay tuned on the videos. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button wherever it is, and make sure that you hit the bell so that you get the notifications when new videos come out, because we're going to be announcing a really good contest. It's going to be happening really soon, and it's going to be sort of a short window of opportunity for you to enter the contest. Okay, details, like I say, are forthcoming once we nail everything down. But like within the next probably week or so, we're going to have the announcement, and you're not going to want to miss out because there's some really good prizes that we're going to be giving away, and these will be going pretty much all over the world. Okay, so hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't already joined the 4-String Strummers Facebook group, that's another way that you can find out about it. I'll put a link down in the description for you to join the 4-String Strummers. It's a private group. It's just all the people. We've got people from all over the world, thousands of people on there now. And so I'll be doing an announcement on there too. So make sure, hit subscribe. You don't want to miss out on this. All right, let's get into the tune now. Well, I got my mail late last night. Letter from a girl who found the time to write to a lonesome boy somewhere in the night. She sent me a railroad ticket to take me to a loving arms, and a big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. Well, I've been out here many long days, haven't found a place that I can call my own. Not a two-bed bed to lay my body on. I've been stood up, I've been shook down, I've been dragged into the sand, and the big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. Ooh, 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 well, I've been uptight most every night, walking along the streets of this old town. Not a friend around to tell me trouble's too. My good old car, she done broke down 'cause I drove into the ground, and the big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. I look over yonder across the plain, big drive wheels are pounding along the ground. Gonna get on board and I'll be homeward bound. And I ain't had a home cooked meal, Lord, I need one now. And the big steel rail's gonna carry me home to the one I love. Ooh. Well, here I stand with my hat in my hand, standing on a broad highway. Would you give a ride to a lonesome boy who missed his train last night? I went in town for one last round, and I gave my ticket away, and the big steel railroad carried me home to the one I love. Ooh. All right, folks, there you go. So work on that strum. Any questions, as always, drop it down into the comment section. I'm always more than happy to help you out. And until we see you next time, folks, keep smiling, keep strumming, and have fun, maybe with one of these videos right over here. Bye for now.